Apba Manley, the only female elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame, and she was elected in 2006, grew up in New York City. She rooted for the Yankees and cheered on Babe Ruth. She was married to Abe Manley, who in 1934 the owners of the Negro National League awarded a franchise to. They were the Brooklyn Eagles, and they played their home games at Ebbets Field along with the Brooklyn Dodgers. The next season, the Manleys purchased the Newark Dodgers, and they combined their two rosters, and they became the Newark Eagles and moved to Ruppert Stadium. Abe Manley might have been the owner, but Apba did all the behind-the-scenes work. She took an active and public role at the owners' meeting starting in January 1937 in Philadelphia, where she suggested changes on how to improve the league. She worked with the marketing of the team and fiscal management of the Newark Eagles. She took over the press duties and interviews and assumed the responsibility of arranging the plane schedules, booking accommodations, and publicizing the games, purchasing equipment, and negotiating contracts. Even kept an eye on the behavior of the players. And did I mention they had players? Larry Doby, Monte Irvin, Biz Mackey, Leon Day, all future Hall of Famers, including three others who played between 1935 and 48, Ray Dandridge, Mule Suttles, and Willie Wells. After baseball's integration, in 1948, the Manleys disbanded the Eagles and sold the club to W.H. Young, a dentist from Memphis, Tennessee. Apba was quite active in the social activism and civil rights movement before the civil rights movement. She organized campaigns of "Don't Buy Where You Can't Work" boycotts, and she organized boycotts of stores that refused to hire black sales clerks. She also appointed anti-lynching days at Ruppert Stadium when the Eagles played there, and she put red sashes on the ushers that spoke out against lynching. In those days, most blacks were barred from practicing medicine. The Booker T. Washington Community Hospital, which offered training for black doctors and nurses, opened up, due in large part by money raised by the Newark Eagles. Because of Apba Manley, the Newark Eagles were as important to black Newark as the Dodgers were to Brooklyn. Hello everybody, this is Apba Brian, and this is Apba Baseball Classics, the all-time greats tournament. Each series is the best 2 out of 3, and we've reached Game 3 of the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays and the 1946 Newark Eagles. Let's start with the introductions of the starting lineups. First with the Toronto Blue Jays, Ricky Henderson will play left field and lead off. Devon White in center field. Bobby Elmore is at second base. John Overwood will hit fourth and play first base. Paul Molitor is at third base. Joe Carter will be playing right field. Pat Border is the catcher. Tony Fernandez is a shortstop. And Todd Stottlemyre, grade C pitcher, is on the mound. For the Newark Eagles, they will lead off with, Pat Patterson will lead off and play third base. James Wilkes is at center field. Larry Doby at second base. Monte Irvin is the shortstop. Laird Haas Pearson is the first baseman. Cherokee Davis is in right field. Charles Ruffin, the catcher. Bob Harvey, the left fielder. And Rufus Lewis is on the mound, grade B, with a Y modifier. Let's play ball. All right, Rufus Lewis toes the rubber, and he's ready to pitch to Ricky Henderson. In many people's minds, the all-time leadoff hitter. Here is first pitch of the game, 51, is a base hit for Ricky Henderson. Devon White is the center fielder. He will hit and run. 61 is a 30. That's going to be a fly out to the left fielder, Bob Harvey. Henderson will have to return to first base. There's one out. Robbie Alomar. 32 is a 12. That's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Toronto's retired in the top of the first. Newark coming to bat. Had a little bit of a frustrating day with some technical issues, but it's always relaxing to sit down to Apba baseball, and I feel relaxed already. Here is Pat Patterson. 32 is a 26. It's going to be a ground out to the second baseman, Robbie Alomar, 4-3, one down. James Seabiscuit Wilkes. 26 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. First strikeout in the game for Todd Stottlemyre. Features a 92, 93 mile an hour fastball, good curve, and good slider. Didn't change speeds much. And sometimes it was a little wild inside the strike zone. Larry Doby is the batter, second baseman. 42 is a 9 on a C, is a ground out to it's a pop out to third base. So 3 up and 3 down for the Newark Eagles. We go to the top of the second inning. There's no score. All right, 1946, Rufus Lewis pitched for 2 different teams. He had a combined 10-3 record in the Negro National League, and he also had a 2.38 earned run average. John Olerud is the leadoff hitter in the top of the second for Toronto. That's going to be a double for John Olerud. Slow runner at second. They're going to play it safe on the base pass. Paul Molitor comes to bat. 53 is a 19 in fielding column 2. Hit by pitch ball. Molitor will take first. First and second. Nobody out, and here is Joe Carter. 44 is a 8 against a B. That's a ground out to third base, taken by Pat Patterson. He throws across the diamond to first, but the runners will go to second and third. 2 runners in scoring position with 1 out for the Toronto Blue Jays. Pat Borders, longtime Major League catcher, is very instrumental in Toronto's championship seasons of 92 and 93 and was the 1992 World Series MVP. Here's the pitch to Borders. 1-5 is a 8 on second and third. That is a single over first, and the runners score. It is 2-0 Toronto. They were playing it safe with Olerud. He was on third. They were not playing it safe with Molitor. So we got Pat Borders on first, average speed. Still only 1 out, and Tony Fernandez is the hitter. Pat just passed away recently in, I think, February 16, 2020, listed as pneumonia. Here's the pitch to Tony Fernandez. 55 is an 8. And that's a single at center field. Runner goes to second, and the Blue Jays are really applying the pressure. 3 hits in the inning. Still only 1 out, and here's the pitcher, Todd Stottlemyre. He will swing away. 1-5, that's a 9. That's going to be a ground out to third base. 5-3. Runners move up. And now there's 2 outs. Top of the order, Ricky Henderson. All-time base stealer. I think he's got 1 base short of twice as many bases as the number 2 guy. Lou Brock. 42 is, I read that on Wikipedia. I'm not sure I trust that. I need to look up that stat. 42 is a 14. That's going to be a walk. And the bases are fully loaded. This game could get out of hand here. Devon White is the batter. Can Devon White stick a quarter in the merry-go-round? Here's the pitch. 44. That's an 8. That's a single over second. 2-runner score. Ricky goes to third. And so Borders scores, Fernandez scores. It's 4-0. First and third. 2 RBI single for Devon White, and that means the Blue Jays will have batted around as Robbie Alomar steps into the batter's box. He's the 9th hitter in the inning. First and third, 2 outs. Of course, the infield is back. Here's the pitch from Rufus Lewis. 41 is a 24. That's going to be a ground out to second base. 4-3. That puts an end to the inning, but the Toronto Blue Jays jump way out on top. 4-0. Batting later for the Eagles, Monte Irvin leads off the bottom of the second for Newark. That is a 42. That is a 8 against a C. That's a single for Monte Irvin. Irvin's a fast runner at first. Here is first baseman Lennie Pearson. That's a 42. 37 is a runner picked off first. 1-3. 1 down. .64 is a 41. First on the air by the shortstop, Tony Fernandez. He's 6. Pearson's average speed, he's at first with 1 out. Cherokee Davis. Davis is 1 for 7 in the series. 34 is a fly ball to center field. Devon White is under it. Makes the catch. 2 away, here's the catcher, Charles Ruffin. 54 is a fly out to right field, caught by Joe Carter. And we go to the third, 4-0 Blue Jays. John Olerud will lead off. He led off last inning with a double and scored. 1-5 is a single for Olerud. He is 2 for 2. And 3 for 9 in the series with a double and a homer. Here is Paul Molitor. .61 is a 37. And Olerud is caught off first base, 1-3. So 1 out. 4-4 is a single from Molitor. And Toronto already has 4, 5, 6 hits in this game early on. Fast runner at first, Joe Carter. 62 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Carter is 0 for 2. Pat Borders singled and scored, drove in 2 runs in the last inning. 64 is a strikeout. And so the Blue Jays don't score in the third. We go to the bottom of the third, 4-0. All right, Todd Stottlemyre completes his warm-up tosses. As you know, his father, Mel Stottlemyre, is a terrific pitcher and pitching coach in the major leagues with the Yankees. And his brother, Mel Stottlemyre Jr., also a pitcher and pitching coach. Here's the pitch to Bob Harvey. 24 is a swing and miss for strike 3. 1 out. Pitcher Rufus Lewis. 65 is a pop to the catcher. 2 outs. And now Pat Patterson. 1-6 is a 28. Ground out to shortstop. Tony Fernandez takes care of that play. We go to the fourth. Blue Jays 4-0. Shortstop Tony Fernandez, 2 for 9 in the series, leads off for the Blue Jays. 46 is a ground ball back to Lewis. Throws to first, 1 down. Pitcher Todd Stottlemyre. 64 is a strikeout. That's Lewis's 3rd strikeout. And here is Ricky Henderson. 46 is a strikeout. Go to the bottom of the fourth, 4-0. James Wilkes leads off for the Eagles. 1-6 is a ground ball to shortstop, 6-3. Here's Larry Doby. 44 is a base hit for Larry Doby. It's only the second hit for the Newark Eagles. Fast runner on first. Monte Irvin's the batter. They're going to try to get something started here. Hit and run. 34 is a fly out to center field. No, wait a minute. 34 is a 31. That's going to be a single right center. And Doby will go to third base. So 1 out. Irvin's at first. Doby's at third. And Toronto will play the infield back. Powerful hitting first baseman Lennie Pearson comes to the plate. 64 is the roll. That's a 41 play result. Okay, a double steal. One runner scores, and the other one goes to second. So there would not be a throw. They would not throw to second. They try to get that one at home, so I don't give the catcher a chance to throw the runner out. And Doby has stolen home for the first run for the Eagles. Now runner at second with 1 down. 52 is a ground ball to third base rather, 5-3. Runner holds at second. Here's Cherokee Davis. 35 is a 9 against a C. That's a ground out to first base unassisted. But the Newark Eagles get on the board here in the bottom of the fourth inning with a steal of home. That's the third steal of home I've had in about 3 weeks. And I don't recall having many of those down through the years. All right, we go to the fifth. It's 4-1 Toronto. Devon White leads off for the Blue Jays. 26 is the roll, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And after such a rugged start, Rufus Lewis has struck out 5 of the last 6 hitters. Robbie Alomar comes to the plate. 1-6 is a ground out to the shortstop, Monte Irvin. 2 outs. John Olerud. 23 is a ground out to Larry Doby at second base, 4-3. So 3 up and 3 down. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's 4-1 Toronto. Charles Ruffin leads off for the Eagles. Flew out the right his first time out. 42 is going to be a swing and a miss for strike 3. That is the third strikeout for Todd Stottlemyre. Here is Bob Harvey, the left fielder. He struck out his first time out. 56 is a pop out to the shortstop, Fernandez. That's 2 away, and here is the pitcher, Rufus Lewis. 26 is a ground out to Fernandez. At short, we go to the 6th inning. Toronto 4 and Newark 1. Minnesota Navy Paul Molitor leads off for the Blue Jays. Got to play with the Twins the last 3 years of his career, and then later some managing of the Twins. 54 is a fly out to Cherokee Davis in right field. 1 down. Here's Joe Carter. 0 for 2. 52 is going to be a ground out to Pat Patterson at third. It's 2 away. Here is Pat Borders. 32 is a ground out to third base, Pat Patterson. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Still Toronto 4 and Newark 1. Todd Stottlemyre returns to the mound, the beneficiary of a 4-run outburst in the 2nd inning by the Blue Jays. Pat Patterson leads off for the Eagles. Here's the pitch from Stottlemyre. 25 is going to be a base hit to center field for Pat Patterson. Average speed at first. James Wilkes is the hitter. 63 is a fly ball to center field. Caught by Devon White. 2 out, 1 out. Larry Doby. 43 is a ground ball to the pitcher. 1-3, and the runner goes to second. Up to Monte Irvin to get the run home. He is 2 for 2 in the game today. 42 is a 8 against the C. That's going to be a single over second, and see, Patterson will score 4-2. That makes Irvin 3 for 3 in today's game, and overall he is 7 for 12. Lennie Pearson, 44 for Pearson. That's going to be a single to center field, and Irvin goes to third. Cherokee Davis. He's not had a good series. He is 1 for 9. His infield is back with 2 outs. 63 is a swing and miss for strike 3. We get 1 for the Newark Eagles, and we go to the top of the 7th. Toronto 4, Newark 2. All right, top of the 7th inning will bring Tony Fernandez, the pitcher spot, Todd Stottlemyre, and then Ricky Henderson. Rufus Lewis is in his point of weakness inning. There's a pitch to Fernandez. 1-1 roll. That's going to be a hit column roll. And 36 is a double for Tony Fernandez to lead off the 7th inning. All right, the pitcher, Stottlemyre, will stay in the game, but he will sacrifice. Here's the pitch. 14 is a 30 out of first, 3-1, 5-1, excuse me. 5-3 score it. Successful sacrifice, and the runner goes to third. Infield will play in for Newark, Ricky Henderson, who is 1 for 2. And 3 for 8 in the series with 2 stolen bases. Here's the pitch to Henderson. Infield's in. 35 is a 14. No asterisks. But he'll draw a base on balls. First and third. Newark will play the infield back and try to get the double play. Devo White. 24 is a strikeout. Here is Robbie Alomar. Hall of Famer Robbie Alomar scored 10 Gold Gloves in his career, and when he was playing with Omar Vizquel in Cleveland, that must have been something to behold. Here's a pitch to Alomar with 2 outs, infield back. 1-2 is the roll, 25. That's going to be a ground out to shortstop, who goes to second base the short way. That ends the top of the 7th, and the Jays don't score. They still lead 4-2 going into the bottom of the 7th. Charles Ruffin will lead off for the Eagles. 1-4 is a fly ball to left field, caught by Ricky Henderson. 1 down. Here is Bob Harvey. 31 is a pop out to third. 2 down. Rufus Lewis will bat with 2 outs in the 7th here. 21 is a strikeout. We go to the 8th. 4-2 Toronto. Got a good ball game going here at Rupert Stadium in Newark, New Jersey. This is an elimination game. The loser goes home. And here is John Olerud to lead off the 8th inning. 1-3 is a walk to Olerud. Okay, home rules for basic Apba or pitcher's fatigue for starting pitchers comes in the 7th inning, and then when 3 bad things happen to him, their grade goes down 1 letter. This is the 3rd bad thing that happened to Lewis since the 7th inning, so he's becoming a C pitcher for Paul Molitor. The only 2 or 3 pitchers available in the bullpen are all D pitchers. Here's the pitch to Paul Molitor. 44 is a 7. That's going to be a single, and Olerud goes to 3rd. Newark's infield will play back, and Joe Carter, who hit the walk-off 3-run home run in Game 6 of the '93 World Series, comes to the bat. Here is the pitch to Carter, 33 home runs in 1993. 62 is a strikeout by Joe Carter, and that's a big strikeout for Rufus Lewis. 1 down. And now they'll play the infield back and try to get a double play. Pat Borders. 43 is 29 on the ground. That's going to be a ground ball to the pitcher. The runner on first goes to second. The runner on third holds, and it's 1-3 for the second out. Tony Fernandez comes to bat. 279 and 93. Lewis is going to go ahead and pitch to Fernandez because, they bring in Ed Sprague as a pitch hitter probably, and he had a pitch hit home run earlier in the last game. So here is Tony Fernandez, 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs. Here's the windup and the pitch. 6-6 roll. That's a hit column roll for Tony Fernandez. And 6-6 is a drive. It could be, it might be, it is out of here. 3-run home run for Tony Fernandez. And it is 7-2 Toronto, and they're starting to celebrate. They're on the verge of eliminating the Newark Eagles. Pitcher Todd Stottlemyre comes to bat. Lewis is mad at himself for not walking him, but you can't pull back what's happened. Here's a pitch to Stottlemyre, except I dropped the dice on the floor. I'll try that again. Here we go. 32 is a ground ball to 3rd. That's the final out. But Toronto adds 3 on 3 hits. The big hit, the home run by Tony Fernandez, who has singled, doubled, and homered in this game. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-2 Blue Jays. Okay, the Newark Eagles come to bat. They're 5 runs down, top of the order. Pat Patterson gets a hit column roll. And 31 is a double for Pat Patterson. That brings up James Wilkes. And let's see, that's the first bad thing that happened to Stottlemyre since the 7th inning. Actually, he has 27 batters. He's faced 27, so now he's at his point of weakness. 1 bad thing against him. Here is James Wilkes. 61 is a 40. Runner out stealing. I'm going to disregard that result because there's no way he'd be stealing 3rd. 5 runs down. 1-1 roll to Wilkes. That's a hit column roll. And that's a drive for James Wilkes. It'll go, and it is 7-4 Blue Jays timeout. Today's manager, Cito Gaston, will bring in Mark Eichhorn, a grade A pitcher with a Y and Z modifier. Larry Doby steps in the box for the Eagles, who are now down by 3. Here's the pitch to Larry Doby. 55 is a 7 against an A. That's going to be a single to right field. And Larry Doby is 2 for 4. Monte Irvin, who is 3 for 3. His windup pitch from Eichhorn. 61 is a 9. That's going to be an infield base hit for Monte Irvin. 4 for 4 on the day. Still no outs. That gets a tie and run to the plate in Lennie Pearson. Most of the scoring has been through numbers 1 through 5 in the batting order. Numbers 6 through 9 have really struggled. They only have a few hits among them in the series. Here's the pitch to Lennie Pearson. 46 is going to be a 12. And that is a batter safe at first, fielder's choice. So first and third with Irving out at second, 6 to 4. Dobie goes to third. Pearson's average speed at first, 1 down, and the Blue Jays will play the infield back, try to get a double play. There's Leonard Cherokee Davis. 6-6 roll from Davis. That's a drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. A 3-run home run off Mike Hartcorn. And the Newark Eagles have tied it in the 8th. 7 to 7. And with that, Toronto will bring in a new pitcher, Al Leiter, grade C, YW modifier. Here's Charles Ruffin. 1-6 is a ground out to the shortstop, 6 to 3, 2 outs. And now Bob Harvey. 36 is a walk. Lewis is still a C pitcher. He's going to stay in there. 34 is a fly ball center field. So the Newark Eagles bat around in the 8th inning, and on 5 hits, 5 hits and 2 home runs, they score 5 runs and tie the game at 7. We go to the 9th inning. The last game was a slugfest won by the Blue Jays 8 to 7. Ricky Henderson, the top of the order, steps in the box. 64 is a base on balls to Ricky Henderson. He's been on base 4 out of 5 times, 3 walks. Devon White will square around and attempt to bunt him over. 6-6, that's a hit column on a bunt. All right, and the 6-6 would have been a 1. Would have been a home run. 5 to 3, successful sacrifice. Henderson goes to second, and there's 1 out. Okay, here is Bobby Alomar, pitch from Lewis. 45 is going to be a walk. First and second with 1 down. And now John Olerud, who has had only 1 hit in the series, but that hit was a home run. Here's the pitch to Olerud. 53 is a 20 on fielding column 2, first and second. That's going to be an error on the second baseman, Larry Doby, and that's going to fill the bases with only 1 down. And Paul Molitor, who hit .332 in 93 at the plate. The Newark Eagles will play the infield in. Here's the pitch to Molitor. 43 is a 29. That's going to be a better safe. Runner at third's forced out at home. 1 to 2. So Henderson's out 1 to 2. Alomar goes to third, Olerud to second, and Molitor is at first with a fielder's choice. And 2 outs. Here is Joe Carter. Infield back. 41 is a 28. That's going to be a, 6 to 4 double play, or 6 to 4 fielder's choice. So Lewis holds on in the 9th with the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the ninth, Toronto 7 and Newark 7. Okay, Al Leiter comes back on the mound for the Blue Jays. He'll be pitching to the top of the order. Pat Patterson, James Wilkes, and Larry Doby. Here's the pitch to Patterson. 6-6 roll for Patterson. That's a 0. Second column roll is 46. That's going to be a double for Pat Patterson. He had led off the 8th inning with a double. 3 for 5, 2 doubles. And he'll be in scoring position with nobody out, and James Wilkes coming to bat. All right, the Blue Jays will make a pitching change here. Tony Castillo comes in. He is a left-handed pitcher, grade B, and no modifiers. Wilkes is a switch hitter, so he's not going to get the bump up. With Doby, the next batter is left-handed. Runner on second, nobody out. Here's the pitch to James Wilkes. Does he swing away and try it? He's about a 250 hitter, I think, in 46. Thick hill bunt. Here's the sacrifice attempt. 45 is a 14. So, no walk modifiers. That's going to be a base on balls. First and second for the Eagles. Nobody out. No bunting here. Here's Larry Doby. What a double play combination they have on your team. 339 hitter and 46. Irvin was 363. The shortstop. Doby at second. So we got first and second. Here's the pitch from Castillo. 1-1 roll for Larry Doby. That's a 2. And that's going to be a drive. Let's see. He's a single column car. That's a drive to right field. It might be. It could be. It's an opposite field home run for Larry Doby, 3-run homer. And the Newark Eagles score 8 runs in the final 2 innings to eliminate the Toronto Blue Jays 10-7. We'll be back with a wrap-up. All right, in this game, the Toronto Blue Jays scored 7 runs and 9 hits, and they committed 1 error. The Newark Eagles scored 10 runs on 13 hits and 1 error. The winning pitcher was Rufus Lewis, who went the distance, gave up 7 runs on 9 hits, 6 strikeouts and 4 walks, but he's the winning pitcher. The loser is Al Leiter, 2/3 innings. His run given up was the difference in the game, and then 1 hit and 1 walk. Star of the game, Larry Doby goes 3 for 5 with 2 singles, 3 runs, a homer, and a stolen base, 3 RBIs. Monte Irvin also went 4 for 4 himself and drove in a run. But the star would be Larry Doby, as his Newark Eagles knock off the 1993 Toronto Blue Jays at their home park at Rupert Stadium, park that they shared with the minor league Newark Bears. And the Eagles will move forward in the tournament. They'll take on, in round 2, the Hilldale Daisies. Our next series will be the 1994 Montreal Expos and the 1930s St. Louis Stars. Hope you enjoyed this series. It was close each game and very entertaining. Have a good day, and God bless.